A joint meeting of the Indian Navy, Mormugao Municipal Council and other stakeholders like the local Builders Association was held in Vasco to address the repercussions of delayed NOCs from the Indian Navy, which have halted numerous constructions in the Mormugao Planning and Development Authority area. Additionally, concerns were raised about the imposition of house taxes in various naval colonies under the municipal jurisdiction. Acknowledging the inconvenience faced by citizens, the Navy pledged to hold another joint meeting within a month to seek a viable solution to the problem. Big plots for sale from 1,000 to 20,000 square meters at Mapsa, Menkurem and Dhargal. Contact Big Tycoon.
Navy has started applying the restrictions under some Ministry of Defence guidelines. We don't agree with these restrictions because the guidelines itself says that in case other acts apply in that area where the project is proposed, acts such as Aircraft Act, Cantonment Act and other acts which are laws in the Union of India, then those guidelines should not be applied. But the Navy is ignoring that provision of its own guidelines and they are misapplying the guidelines and denying the project proponents the NOCs. These guidelines are issued by Ministry of Defence, not by Navy. So if Navy ignores the guidelines, they are effectively disobeying the Ministry of Defence. We have tried and we have conveyed this message to all the naval authorities. We have met FOGA, we have met various people and they have no answer to this when we ask them that why are you obeying your own ministry's guidelines. So they off the record they tell us that we are helpless, etc. But this is not correct because entire construction activity in Mormugao Taluka is coming to a standstill and this has to stop. Those who are following the law have to be given their permissions and they cannot be denied the permissions because of some internal guidelines. Those guidelines can be applied where there are no laws prevailing in those areas. That's our stand. We are desperately trying to make the Navy understand. We are not fighting with the Navy because they are our country's Navy, but we are trying to make them understand that this is not correct on their part. As a central government organization, they should not be harassing the people.
Sir, about two more points that I was hearing during the meeting. One was that you said that the local authorities like the municipality and the PDA should give you a construction license in case you have applied for the naval permission. I have not got it as yet. So what do you want to say on that?
In Goa, we have our construction and development regulations and we are entitled to our permissions. One of the requirements has always been to get the clearance under the Aircraft Act. Now when we apply for the clearance under the Aircraft Act and the Navy denies us the clearance because by citing the guidelines, we want that Goa government should take a stand that if we are not in violation of the law, then we should be given our permissions. Late Mr. Manohar Parrikar had already taken a stand on this issue and he had issued a circular in 2012, that is hardly 1 year after the guidelines came, and he said that the Navy cannot enforce these guidelines and they have to follow the law. So from 2012 to 2020, the Navy has not been enforcing these guidelines and construction have come up all around their establishments. So how can it be a security threat now that only new constructions will pose a threat and old constructions will not pose a threat? So Navy knows very well that they are doing the wrong thing, but why they are persisting?
Navy is actually become the villain. Sometimes you say you're portrayed as the villain, but the truth is Navy has actually become the villain. They are not aware of how civilians are affected. They are not aware, and at least I feel they care a damn. That is what I feel. Now, the first issue that came was about house tax today. House tax means the Navy in Mangor itself there will be more than 4,000 units of theirs. More than 4,000 units not assessed for house tax. Now, as there is a Supreme Court order which states that they have to be assessed for all central government agencies have to be assessed for house tax at 33%. We made a letter to them, no response. Only INS Jivanti, they gave us a response with regards to that. So our thing was, what is being done? Why are our authorities quiet? Why is the CEO quiet? Why is the chairperson quiet about this? Why are we quiet? So today's meeting was with regards to that and the other issues being faced by the public. So we took a call as far as this is concerned. The house tax assessment is to be done. So we will coordinate with them. Today their two officers came, but they are also just like messengers. They'll go and convey to their higher authorities. The second issue, दूसरा issue was about the problems being faced in Vasco. Now there was a High Court matter that was there with regards to the funnel zone, which was filed as regards Dabolim Airport. And that High Court, that order is standing. Now it's basically as regards the funnel zone. What is happening is today in Vasco, we were not a party to that. The municipality was not a party to that. That case was against the PDA, State of Goa and Chikalim Panchayat. Now any files that are there, obviously they have to be vetted by the Navy. Earlier it was only the funnel zone. But now as per that order, I am not questioning the order. But what is happening is Navy is citing their own internal circulars. They are citing their own internal circulars and blocking everything. Today Vasco, once upon a time, our municipality, we used to get revenue of 5 to 6 crores a year on municipal licenses. Today we are not even at 50 lakhs. And that is only on the renewals because naval permissions are not coming. Airport is there. Airport is 4 kilometers away. But Navy is denying permissions to Vasco people also. For what reason? People are leaving Vasco and going. We are suffering. Our economy is suffering. Vasco is dying.
Navy was so bad in that meeting. Our Chief Secretary ultimately said, please don't pay lip service. We have to solve this matter together. Now, when the Chief Secretary speaks in such a manner, it is understood what Navy wants to do in Vasco. In fact, when you look at all issues, Navy has issued demolition notice to Zuari Agrochemicals. Zuari Agrochemicals produces fertilizers. You demolish Zuari Agrochemicals, our food security of India is at a threat. Navy has issued notices to common people. They have demolished the houses of common people. We all say Modi ki guarantee, sabko ghar. But Navy here is against the interests of the people and is demolishing everybody's houses.
इफेक्टेड पार्टी जितले आसली पळय सगळ्यांक आपोवन आज नेव्ही वांगडा एक बरी मिटींग जाली. नेव्ही ऑल्सो दे ऑफिशल्स दे अंडरस्टूड दॅट इट इज आवर फॉल्ट. बट एवरी टायम जेन्ना आमी मिटींग घेता पळय इट वॉज एट द चीफ सेक्रेटरीएटान जेन्ना मिटींग जाली ते मानून घेता आमचे फॉल्ट आहा पूण मागीर इम्प्लिमेंटेशन जायना. सो समवेअर दॅट प्रेशर इज लॅकिंग. म्हाका दिसता की खंय तरी सरकारान इन्वॉल्व जावपाचो आनी एक प्रेशर घालपाचो नेव्हीचेर जे अन्याय जाता पळय लोकांचेर ते बंद जावपाक जाय.
ती फर्स्ट टायम अशी मिटींग जाली जेन्ना नेव्ही पासून येयले कावन्सिलर येयले स्टेक होल्डर्स येयले बऱ्यांची बरी मिटींग जाली. आमी तांकां तीच टायम दिला बाबा हे आमचे इश्यूज अशे आहात ते इश्यू खंय तरी तांकां सुटावो येवपाक जाय. आनी आशा बागयता नेव्ही कडच्यान बाबा खंय तरी सुटावो जातलो कित्याक आमचे लोक आमचे जशे आमचे बिल्डर आसूं नाल्यार गरीब लोक आसूं जेणी जागा घेतल्या घरां बांदपाक जाय तांकां NOC मेळना. पयशे लायलेले आसा भांगराक घातलेले हेका घाण दवरलेली आहा पूण खंय तरी सुटावो जावपाक जाय. आनी म्युन्सिपाल्टी जी आतां आमची आसा आमकां टॅक्स मेळना काय मेळना ते खंय तरी मेळपाक जाय. तोय आमचे कितें आमकां आनी आधार खंयचोच ना. तुमकां खबर आहा आमची हालत कशी बेकार आहा ती. खंय ना खंय आतां आमी चालू केलेले एसेसमेंटूय चालू आहा आनी IOCचेय चालू आहा HPCL चालू आनी हेतून ते गोवा शिपयार्डूय येयले नाल्यार नेव्ही येयले जाल्यार आमची खंय तरी म्युन्सिपाल्टी खंय स्थिर जातली.
समज बारीकशे समज एक कंपाऊंड वॉल सुद्दां बांदतलो न्हू जाल्यार नेवलाची परमिशन जाय पडटा. कित्याक लागून आमी म्युन्सिपालिटीन हो जो पॉयंट घेतलेलो चेअरपर्सनान तो फक्त हाऊस टॅक्साक लागून. हाऊस टॅक्स घेवपाक तेंचे हांगा एक सुप्रीम कोर्टाची ऑर्डर आसा की तेंच्यांनी जो 33% टॅक्स भरचो पडटा म्हणून आनी तो भरपाक लागून आमी ते अजून भरिनात. ते भरिना म्हणून आयज तांकां आमी आपयलेले. आयज आमची म्युन्सिपालिटी बँकक्रप्टान चल्लेली आसा. आमकां सॅलरी घालपाक त्रास जाता. वेरेज आमची मॅक्झिमम एरिया पळय ते हेंच्यांनी कवर केल्लेली आसा पूण आमकां टॅक्स फारीक करिना. सो टॅक्स तेंच्यांनी एटलीस्ट 33% तेंचे फारीक करपाक जाय. ताका लागून मुद्दाम तांकां आपयलेले आसा. तेंची बिल्डिंगी आहा सारकी फनल एरियान तेजे झोनान भितर कंपाउंडान बांदलेले आहा. 10-12 फ्लोराची बिल्डींग बांदलेली आसा. तांकां काय परमिशन लागना. तेंची सगळे सारकें आसा. आमचे जे भायर आसा तांकांच त्रास जाता. आयज आमच्या वास्कोकारांक सांगता जे बिजनस एक डॅड जाल्लेलो आसा कांयच ना. आमी एक आयसोलेटेड काय सायडीक पडलेल्या भितर आनी हे आनी हेतून अशें दिसता की जे बिल्डर जे आहा पळय ते सुद्दां सोडून गेल्लेले आसा. हांव एक गव्हर्मेंटाकडे रिक्वेस्ट करता, नेवलाकडे रिक्वेस्ट करता, डिफेन्साकडे रिक्वेस्ट करता, ही जी ज्युडिशरी जंय वास्को किंवा मुरगांव कोर्तालीम किंवा दाबोलीम किंवा तेंची एरिया पडटा पळय आमकां सगळ्यांक खंय तरी रिहॅबिलेट करा आनी फूल एरिया तुमी घेयात. होच आमी प्रश्न मांडलेलो आसा.